All right, so on today's video, we're gonna do a 100-hour update. We're gonna talk about the pros and cons that I found about the tractor. And again, these are just my own experiences, not trying to do a whole review on this video. We're gonna go over the little bit of maintenance that I've already done on it, where we got it, how much it costs, etc. Kind of show some of the attachments and talk a little bit about that. And then just kind of give it an overall update now that we are at about 100 hours. We're gonna go over everything, you know, pros, cons, you know, all that stuff. Maybe explain at the end of the video why we chose the Kioti versus other brands. All right, so the first con I would say about this tractor, and this might happen on all tractors, the exhaust is right here and it kind of points forward. And the only reason I don't like that is because when you're sitting on this thing for hours and hours and hours, this is just sitting here blowing up and then you're inhaling it as you're kind of driving. And I've noticed if I'm on the tractor for a really long time, I start to get a little lightheaded and I start to not feel so great. If this could be kind of routed underneath the tractor or something, I don't know why they don't do that. Maybe someone can explain that to me, but you will be inhaling a lot of these fumes. And so when I'm on the tractor for a long period of time, I do actually wear a mask, and that does help me actually stay on the tractor a little bit longer. When the tractor hit 50 hours, I did do the oil change. I didn't do anything else other than blow out the air filter. Now it says that you're supposed to replace the air filter, but I just blew it out. I think it works fine. I don't think you need to replace the air filter. The oil filter and the other filters, you usually want to replace because everything's brand new. As all that metal kind of grinds up, you can get some metal shavings and whatnot. I did do the oil change for the engine. As far as oil, you know, I just use the Mobile, whatever 50 weight engine oil. And I like to use this stuff because I put this in my diesel truck too. So I just buy the big 5-gallon buckets. But I just get it at Walmart and that's what I use. I got like a filter kit for the Kioti CK2610 which is what this is. And I got it from Legacy Tractor. I don't know where else you can get it other than the dealer. I was searching all over and Legacy is kind of like the only online place. And then the dealer, our dealer is 2 hours away, so I'm not just gonna go stop by and pick one up. And you get a bunch of filters with this. So oil pressure filter, the hydrostatic transmission filter, air filter, and the fuel filter. And then the air filter, again, I just blew it out and that worked fine. And then altogether, this kit cost about 160 bucks shipped to my house and then 60 bucks on this. So, you know, you're looking at spending, about $220 to do the first maintenance, and that's if you kind of use all this other stuff. Aside from basic maintenance, the only thing I've had to repair is this bolt. Now I don't know when it happened, but it just fell off. This metal thing right here was kind of just flopping around. This is the only thing that kind of lost and popped off. A few other things have happened to the tractor that I've had to fix. That was my error, not just random bolts falling off. So when you get one of these, go around and check these bolts every once in a while. I might make that a part of my maintenance, is when I go to grease these fittings, to also go and tighten these bolts, which you should probably do anyways, but yeah. So when you grease these, I would go to tighten these as well. Another thing outside of regular maintenance that I suggest that you get is some slime. Doesn't matter what brand you get. I've already punctured this tire 3 times, I think. I only repaired it once. So there's actually still a screw in here. I was able to, so it wasn't like I got a flat. It's like, it went flat and broke the bead immediately. So I don't know if that's just the design of tractor tires or something. I did it with the ratchet strap. After doing it twice, I feel like it's almost the more dangerous way, because both times I hurt my hand. I don't know, how would you get the bead back on? Because I tried it twice with the ratchet and both times I hurt myself. If I have to repair this one more time, I'm gonna use starter fluid. And I still got one of the screws in there, which is kind of a testament to the slime, because I don't feel like taking it out because I'll have to repair it because it's such a big hole, because it's probably been in there, honestly, about 6 weeks and I haven't had a single issue with it. So some slime, just in case. These small ones, I don't know, it kind of tells you how much they should take, but I think the big tires would probably take a full bottle of this. Get the biggest bottles you can, put them in there, because changing a tractor tire is not harder than a car, but it is kind of frustrating because I think because of the amount of weight and the design, it broke the bead every single time, and getting that bead back on can kind of be a pain. Let's talk about the back of the tractor real quick. In older Coyotes, these taillights were actually up here, which will kind of make sense because they have these brackets up here. I don't know what they hold. And I'm pretty sure the taillights used to be up here, or the flashers. And people were complaining because you'd constantly run into stuff, which if they were up here on our property with all the trees and stuff that we go by, guaranteed they would have been knocked off. When I bought them, they were down here. And so that could be something that Coyote changed recently. So we bought this in July. As far as I know, they've switched them down here versus being up here. This thing, I don't actually know what this is for. I think this is when you drive it on the roads, you're supposed to have this on. But I don't drive it on the road anywhere except when I have to go around to my neighbor's to borrow one of his attachments or something. The thing I don't like about this is how it just sits in here. So it's got this little bracket. And so when you're riding around, this thing is, it's smacking it up and it's very annoying. And then there's also these tabs. I don't know if anyone knows what these things are for. They were welded on, but then they're just bent back and I have no clue what they do. So if you know what these things are, let me know in the comments below because I have no idea what this is for. All right, and then the only other thing that's kind of annoying about the back of the tractor is this thing, and I forget what it's called, but it kind of has a holder, but it doesn't actually hold it. Because so many times I look back and it's popped off. So this strap was already here, came with the tractor, and then I constantly see it bouncing around here. So I don't know if I need to adjust this or something. I think I'm gonna grab a strap and then, you know, there's so many bolts around here. I could strap it to something or maybe even just tie it around here a little bit better. Again, I don't know if this is supposed to hold it, but it doesn't do a very good job if that's what it's supposed to do. I'm thinking you have to crawl up under here and fill in the oil from the top because there's a thing on top says oil. Take off that cap, you can put oil in there. But if you're really filling it, you can just use this right here. So you can just pop this off, dump in the oil. That way you don't have to climb up under here. Just know that you can fill it here. And then the oil filter is right here. And I'm pretty sure this is the oil pressure filter or whatever that other oil filter is that I'm supposed to be changing, which I think I'm gonna start looking at it because there's oil all over this thing. So stay tuned for an update on that because that seems a bit excessive. So I'm gonna have to check the oil level on this now. So as far as attachments that we've used, I have the tiller. We have this post hole digger that we actually haven't set up yet. This is just a few of the parts. The rest are kind of stored in the garage. And then my neighbor has a ripper slash subsoiler, also from Tractor Supply that I've actually borrowed from him. So those are the only attachments that we've currently used, but really the tiller is the only thing I've heavily used. And I've had really no problem with the tractor using the tiller. The only problems I really had are whether or not I like this tiller or not, but it's good enough for what we're doing, and stay tuned for a future video on all attachments once we really get. One of the big problems with this tractor, this doesn't always want to go into gear, even if you're pressing on the clutch. My last video, I kind of mentioned that, and other people suggested how to get around it. So I can get around it, and I'm kind of used to doing it, but it's still one of those things that I don't think you should have to do it, but let me try to show you what's happening. All right, so I have the clutch pressed in, but it won't go into low gear, right? It just stays in neutral. No matter what I do, it's not going. So one of the things that you gotta do is you press on the forward or reverse pedals, and that kind of moves everything, I guess, and then you can push it in. So not going in, and that's it. Now I can go again. So overall, love the tractor. I really have no issue with it. Everything that I wanted it to do on our small scale farm performed very well. And one of the main benefits I would say of this one over the Kubota, and I even think the John Deere, is the lift capacity. I've lifted up a lot of heavy stuff that I was skeptic if the tractor would lift it or not. Performed flawlessly. Anyways, I've been very happy with this tractor. I wanted a Kubota, and I'm kind of glad that the dealer ghosted us. Long story short, I went down to the Kubota dealership in Prescott Valley to buy one. The salesperson didn't seem too interested in talking to me. I was talking about a tractor with a trailer and maybe some attachments, and they had packaged deals. And he kind of complained about it, saying it wasn't a very good deal for him. You know, which is like the strangest thing to ever hear out of a salesperson's mouth, is that you want to give them more money and then they complain that it's not a good deal for them. I gave him my name and number, told him to send me the quote with the tractor, the package, everything that we wanted, and then all the other attachments so we could look at adding on in the future. And he ghosted me. He never sent an email, never followed up on a phone call. So I started looking around at other ones. I really had only researched the Kubota, and I found Kioti. I found a lot of positive reviews, a few negative ones, but mostly positive. And then we called up Southwest Tractor and Equipment in Morristown. They answered every single question over the phone. They gave us pricing over the phone, availability, everything. I mean, we probably could have bought this thing over the phone and had them drive it all the way up to where we live out here in Poland. But yeah, that's where we got the tractor. Super happy. And honestly, the Kioti is so much cheaper. By that Kubota dealer ghosting us, he actually saved us several $1,000s. Bad for him, great for us. So in the future, I do want to add the third function to get the grapple up front, because we would use that a ton out here as we're cutting down trees, removing trees. There's a lot of dead trees on the property, etc. And so many times I wished we had that grapple. And then we're also going to put hydraulic functions in the back so we can kind of tilt and maybe have some downward pressure for our post hole digger. Again, overall, very happy. If you guys have any comments, suggestions, anything I missed that you maybe want me to talk about in the future, anything that I should look out, again, 100 hours, first tractor. I only know so much, but I just want to share the experience. If you would ask me if I would recommend it, then 100%. And again, just super, super happy. So, all right, that's today's video. Again, comments, suggestions, y'all know the deal. And we'll see you on the next one.